Nigeria Chambers here from Big Gold Belt Media. Marco, thank you so much for your time today. Super excited to talk about your latest project, Diablo, in theaters, on demand, and digital, June 13th. How you doing today?
Very good, man. Very good. Very excited. Thanks for the support, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ooh, wee. First, before we talk about this, I got to tip the hat and give you your flowers for Fist of the Condor. It's one of my favorite films. And with that, I must know, because I know how much of a passion project that was for you. And it wasn't just because of the fact that you go out there and you do your own work, your stunts, and you get to tell your story that you want to tell, but also because you're just a lover of cinema and martial arts, just like us as the fans, which we can see your heart in the work. Which is why my first and immediate question before we get to business with Diablo is, where are we going with that? Any chance for a sequel?
I would love to. We have already a treatment written, and we're waiting for the opportunity to do that again, to do that, to pick up that story because I love that story. I love the characters, and yes, it will be beautiful to continue that.
Right
So
on.
it depends on you guys. If you support the movie and the executives are happy with the results, I'm sure it's going to happen
Yes,
soon.
sir. Yes, sir. I tell you, beyond me just being a fan of yours, I've said it too. And Ernesto, I said, now at this rate, I see you two on a project together. It's a no-brainer. And obviously, you two are back now with this one. Talk about your relationships. Why do you trust him? Why does he trust you? And with that trust, how does that sort of elevate, the story you want to tell or the stunts you want to do, the characters you want to craft? Like, talk to me about you two's relationship.
Man, we were born the same day. We went to the same high school. Like we grew up being these awkward kids, one a fanatic of camera and then other one fanatic of martial arts. And everybody was playing soccer and doing other things. And I was like stretching in the back of the room of the class. I was the freak of the martial arts, and he was the freak of with the camera, right? And then suddenly they were saying, "Hey, let's do, for example, in English class. Hey, you guys have a homework. You gotta bring me a story, tell a story in English, right?" And
Yeah.
and me and Ernesto's like, "Wait, let's make a movie. Let's make a martial arts movie." And we're kids. So we connect back from back then and grew up. Then when I moved to LA, he came and visited me, and we were just kids dreaming about making movies. It's like so he teach me all he passed me all his passion for movies and filmmaking because I was just a knucklehead that wanted like martial arts and kicks. And I like Bruce Lee and like Van
Hmm.
Damme, Jackie Chan, but I didn't know about cinema. I didn't know about movies, right? But his passion connected me to watch good movies. So he
Yeah.
showed me all the Asian films like Takashi Miike, Takechi Kitano, like more like to understand that like David Lynch, all these, and then I start understanding this how to create this tension and this cinematic world, and then mix it, then I pass my passion for martial arts to him, so he started understanding choreography. Oh, a fight is like to tell a fight in a movie, how you shoot this and how you. So we connect like this and grew up doing our projects in Chile, like Killtor, Mirage Man, Mandrill, Redeemer, Fist of the Condor. And now, like, imagine we're in LA promoting our Hollywood movie. It's just crazy. Can you imagine that, right?
Yeah.
With Scott, like the number one martial arts action star today
He said you're the number one, right?
oh, really?
He
Yeah,
did.
he's very cool. He's a very cool. But for me, it's like more than that. It's like he's a friend, man. He's a
Yeah.
friend, and I see the kid in him.
Yeah.
I could see the kid, and I see myself when I was 10 doing martial arts in my backyard. He's that guy, and he's
Yeah.
still that guy, right?
Yeah.
So we connect from there, from that passion of martial arts, and when we were in John Wick working together, I've been telling him, hey, let's make a movie together. You gotta meet Ernesto, you gotta meet my friend, and he's like, yeah, let's do it. And when he said let's do it, he's in a position that when he said let's do it, then things happen, right?
Yeah,
I was like, wow, oh, let's do it. And we start putting together this idea with Ernesto and then Scott started adding. He's like, oh, we could do this, we could do that, and then just Diablo happened, and
yeah.
I'm so happy with this movie. It's just amazing. Like I knew Ernesto's gonna knock it out of the park, man.
Yeah, hats off to everybody. And honestly, I enjoyed this film so much and hearing Scott talk about it. I've already got the chance to talk to Scott, got a chance to talk to Ernesto, and now hearing you. I want to be in you all's group chat because there's so much love for each other, but you can just feel the excitement, the joy, the camaraderie amongst you three just talking about this and how special it is to work with each other, which is why I always feel when people's hearts are in the right place, you see good results from it. And that's exactly what you got with this film. And I can't wait to talk about the third act. We'll get there one second, but I definitely wanted to ask you this too because I did ask Scott this, and when I talk about the elites in the business, when it comes down to martial arts, when it comes down to stunt coordinator, stunt teams, the folks that goes out there and does the work. Recently we got the news that the Academy Awards will be finally including the Achievement in Stunt Design 2028. For somebody like you that has put so much emphasis on the craft of stunt work with your team and the collaboration amongst the other folks to ensure that the punches look the way they do, but also the brutality, the gun fights, all that stuff that some of us take for granted, but all of us knew that it needed to be acknowledged. I want to know from you as the professional here, hearing that to be included, what sort of was your reaction to it?
Amazing, man. It's like finally, what can I say? It's like such a big part of a movie. All the stunt community. It's just, especially now with technology, where they're using every time, every year, every second, they're using more stunts to make a movie than anything. Because
Yeah,
now they can have face replacement. They can, all the superhero movies, they're all wearing masks. Guess what? That's just stunts unit
yeah,
doing the whole movie.
yeah.
And people don't know that. And that you're watching a movie that just won an Oscar. Guess what? 70% of the movie was
Yes,
shot
sir.
by the stunt team. It's crazy. It's just crazy. It's crazy, right?
Yeah,
So now I'm thinking they're gonna run into a problem because they're gonna have to add so many layers of that category. It's like you have choreography, fighter, best stunt, best
yeah,
blah blah blah. How are you gonna divide this?
yeah.
But at least they did the first step, and that's already something very powerful. So I'm very happy with it.
Absolutely. Now listen. Your character, El Corvo, the Raven, I have billed as one of the most sadistic, by all means, definitely your most sadistic performance to date. But when it comes down to villains, this is the most unhinged, most sadistic psychopath I have seen to screen, especially in this genre. And then he has this left hand of torture, is what I want to call it. You have to tell me about everything about this. And for the sake of time, I'm going to combine this big question and let you end it off with this. Because you are a writer, because you crafted the third act, because with you and the different roles you've played, but obviously having played villains before, stepping into something new. What was the arm made of? What was the decision behind it? How exciting were you to play a part like this? And then ultimately, beyond you doing that, you had to do the part. Yeah, I mean, this guy's ice. He no emotions. He's a menace. He's like the Terminator. He's like Jaws from GoldenEye. He's like John Kramer from Saw because of all the torture stuff that he's involved with. Like, to tell me, you as the fan, the actor, all of that, putting this character to life, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate, man.
Yes, sir.
What can I say, man? I felt the chills approaching this because when you're getting your steps into something that you're not even sure you're going to be able to pull off, and that's when you know that you're doing something right. If it doesn't give you that little bit like, oh, oh God, this is gonna, that means that you're not pushing yourself. And this is exactly what I felt with this character. And then Ernesto, wanted to have this no hand thing. And at the beginning, the producers didn't want because it's going to complicate things, or maybe this and that. So it was a big debate of how far we wanted to take this character more into the bringing it more from the horror movies and stepping out from this kind of action classic, movies that we see today on this kind of right. So we took a chance, man. But Ernesto, and I trust him, and I know, man. And if he's convinced on something and he tells me, and that's the relationship we have since we were kids. No, Marco, we have to fight for it. We gotta do this. It's like, okay, okay. And then I start studying and coming with ideas, and then I said it needs to be a knife, but it needs to be El Corvo. It needs to be curved like this. This is a Chilean army that they use to take the guts out of in war, and they were all the soldiers were afraid of these soldiers because of El Corvo. So we're like, okay, we need to have El Corvo there, blah, blah, blah. And then the character, blah, and then we start creating this character, and then the whole story of what happened at the end has to do with the no hand situation. I don't want to give spoilers. So yeah, man, and for me it was weird because you're an action guy, so you always want to look cool. You always want to be the tough guy, like the strong, and sadly, man, when I start reading and I start going through this, and I was totally opposite. I wanted to be as non-cool and as a non kind of, I wanted to be awkward and weird and like, and then, okay, how I get this, and then I start walking, just walking, and then I start understanding how this character walk. We went for a long walk with Ernesto in Bogota talking about this, and then we changed all the scenes, all the
Mm.
were in the script. It was totally different. You read the script, you see the movie in of the Del Corvo, everything from scratch. We discovered with Ernesto walking in Bogota and understanding, and this character kind of like we downloaded. It was like it was just there, and then I start like like understanding his physicality, and then understanding how the guy speaks and the guy how he dressed. And then I remember in the wardrobe, I put a shirt and they put me a costume, and I just no, it's just I don't feel him. I don't feel him. So I start changing the colors, and then suddenly my whole it's a fun process. It was like a downloaded. I download this character from somewhere. It was crazy, man. It was a very fun process.
Marco, thank you so much for your time. Just want to say you and Scott put together one of the best third acts of a film I've ever seen. It was incredible. And again, that's just a tippity hat to the camaraderie you two have. I expected nothing less. And I also expect this story to continue afterwards because you know that whole saying, I'm not giving anything away, but if there is no body, that means there is no death. So we got work to do on two projects to keep your boy here very happy. But I need the fans right now get to theaters or on demand or digital. Diablo, June 13th. Marco, thank you so much for your time, man. I hope to talk to you again very soon.
Thank you. Thank you for your support, man. Let's do it.
Absolutely, brother. Appreciate you.
Psychotic.